All right, good deal. Okay.
Do I have to flip this up again? Can everybody hear me? Yeah! Good job. Let me see if I can pick this up just a little more.
Or you can take it off if you want.
Oh no,
You don't want
I'm not coordinated.
Sorry.
Too many things to hold. Okay. Okay. Good morning, Medlock Bridge. Good morning. I know it's really early and it's Friday and we're a little sleepy, but I think both of us can do a lot better than that. Good morning, Medlock Bridge, third, fourth, and fifth grade. Yeah, I had a feeling you guys had that in you, for sure. Hey, I want to introduce myself to you this morning. My name is Linda Hickey. You can call me Miss Linda. I want to thank you guys for having us here this morning. We're really excited to be here. Again, my name is Linda Hickey, and this right here, this four-legged furry friend of mine, her name is Xena the Warrior Puppy. Pretty cool name for a dog, don't you think? Yeah. You can call her Xena, and she is a little nervous right now because there are so many people coming in, but she'll settle in hopefully. The beautiful woman that has Xena right now is her very own personal trainer. She does have her own personal trainer, and she comes with us wherever we go. We're so thankful to have her. Her name is Trainer Lisa. Well, you know, before I start my presentation, I just want to mention, a few months ago I came into your parking lot, and I was driving through, and you know, there was like all these blue streamers in the trees, and in the parking lot by Cartwright, there was like these blue streamers going down the poles of the parking lot, and I was like, are you guys having a party in here? I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I went home, I made a few phone calls, I got on the computer, and I found out, Medlock Bridge, that you guys received a national award. Medlock Bridge, you are a blue ribbon school, and you guys deserve a round of applause. Xena can't clap, so she barks at the same time. So you guys are probably wondering why there's a dog here today, and that's a really great question, and we're going to get to that in a little bit, but for right now, I can tell you, she's a little bit famous. She actually has her very own crown, and her very own sash. She travels with her very own little red carpet, and we actually have a bench here as well in case she wants to sit up on the bench and see you better. So I will get to why she's here in a little bit, but for right now, we are going to look at the board and what it is to become the possibility. Notice the word possibility. It's not possibility. And as I go through my presentation today, I want you to keep it in the back of your mind. What could it possibly mean to become the possibility? Why am I here today with Xena the Warrior Puppy and Trainer Lisa? We are here to talk about that 6-letter word, autism. That little tiny word. And I know, again, you're probably thinking, why is there a dog in my school if we're talking about autism? And I promise I am going to get to that. But for raising, if you could raise your hands, who knows somebody with autism? Well, you guys are awesome. I can raise my hand. Trainer Lisa can raise her hand. What I want you to know, though, if you don't understand autism, or if you're just a little bit confused by it, I want you to know that you are not alone. There are hundreds and thousands of people all around the world that still just don't understand what autism is, don't know what it is, or are just a little bit confused by it. Doctors and scientists are still researching even today because they themselves don't know what autism is. So when I was coming here, I figured, wow, this is really easy. I'll just Google it. If you don't know what something is or what something means, You just type it into the computer, right? And you get a definition. That'll give us the answer. So here we go, and you can follow along. Autism. It's a noun, and it's pronounced autism. It's a variable developmental disorder that appears by the age of 3 and is characterized by impairment of the ability to form normal social relationships, by the impairment of the ability to communicate with others, and by the stereotyped behavior patterns. Woo. Well, I don't know about you guys, but after I read that, I was more confused than ever. So, that is why we are here. We are here to break down very simply what autism is for you. I'm not a doctor, I am not a teacher, I am not a therapist, and I'm certainly not a scientist. But I am a mom of a little boy who has autism that, yes, goes to school right here at Medlock Bridge. And I know you know who he is. Johnny! That's right, Johnny. And you know, I introduced this furry friend as my furry friend and my dog, but to be quite honest with you, that is his dog. And I think he's just letting me borrow her this morning. So, here we go. Can you catch autism? If somebody with autism sneezes, achoo, do you have to worry about it, go across the room because you're afraid you're going to catch autism? No, you guys are smart. Absolutely not. You have nothing to worry about. You can engage with these kiddos. You can hold their hands if they allow it. You can hug them if they allow it. And you can be their friend. You cannot catch autism and you have nothing to worry about. Where is autism found? Does anybody know? You guys are rock stars. It is. It's found in the brain, and this is why there is no blood test to diagnose autism. What the doctors do is they ask the moms and dads lots and lots of questions about how their kiddo behaves and how they communicate within the home and out in public. And you know, they'll even ask their teachers in school how these kiddos interact in school and how they behave in different situations during their school day. And what the doctors do is they gather all that information, and it is these behaviors that determine whether or not a kiddo has autism. What are these behaviors? There's a lot of them. I have listed some of them, some of the common ones. Some of these kiddos like to spin. Some of them flap their arms. Some will put their fingers in their ears. Some like to hum. Some rock back and forth. Some of these kiddos will have tantrums. Some have communication difficulties. That back and forth conversation is really hard for these guys. Some of them have social difficulties. Forming relationships and being a friend is very difficult for them. Some line things up in a row. Some like to be alone. Some like to do things over and over and over again. Some have little or no eye contact. And some have space issues. They just don't like it when you come too closely into their space. Now, I've just read that whole list back there, and some of you might be looking at that list and thinking, oh my, I do a couple of those things on that list. Please don't think you have autism, okay? I can tell you right now that when I come to lunch with Johnny and walk into this room right here, you guys are loud and I do this. It's on the list, but guess what? I don't have autism. Trainer Lisa, she loves music. She's always playing the radio in the house, in the car. She sings all the time. But if the radio is not available to Trainer Lisa, she hums. It's on the list, but she does not have autism. So you have nothing to worry about. I made a very simple diagram of a typical brain. And now, like I said, it's very simple so we can all understand this, okay? This is a diagram of a typical person receiving a command. And I'm just going to make up a command, pick up the pencil. You can see in the diagram that the command, they hear it, it goes in the ear, it goes up to A, they process that command to B, and they're able to execute the command. It's like we don't even think about it, right? If someone asks you to pick up a pencil, it's just like you just do it, almost like you didn't even think about it. Well, let's look at somebody who has autism. There's another diagram of somebody who has autism, and this is what can happen to them. Same command, pick up the pencil. It goes into the ear, they heard it, it went to A, but before it got to B, look what happened to it. It went to C, D, E, and F. It kind of got lost up there, didn't it? And within that time, that confusing time for somebody who has autism, they can get really frustrated. Their heart might start to pound a little bit. They might have some heavy breathing. In this illustration, though, it did finally get to B, so they were able to execute the command. What I suggest is that you, when speaking to somebody with autism, you keep your sentences short for them because they are less likely to get lost up into their brain. Kiddos with autism, lots of them have sensory processing disorder. What is that? That's when the brain has trouble receiving and responding to information that comes in through the senses. Oh my gosh, here's another thing that I don't understand. It sounds very confusing, but why are we here? To break it down very simply. And this is very simple. We have 5 senses, and I know 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders that you know exactly what they are. Sight, hearing, taste, touch, and smell. This is how we receive all of our information every single moment of every single day. But what happens with kiddos with autism is that they cannot control how much comes in at one time. And it can come in like a freight train and overwhelm them. Let me give you an example. It's a beautiful day outside. I decide to take Johnny outside for a walk. It's beautiful and bright, the sun is out, the grass is pretty green. See where I'm going? I got one of those 5 senses, right? Got colors going on. There's a beautiful breeze in the air, which is kind of rustling the leaves and the trees a little bit. The man across the street's mowing his lawn, so we hear his lawnmower. And 3 houses up, there's 2 dogs in the yard barking, barky, 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 barky. Here comes that garbage truck, and he's turning around in our cul-de-sac, and he's backing up. Beep, beep, beep. You know what the garbage truck sounds like backing up, right? And because it's such a beautiful day, all the birds are out chirping and singing. Well, I'm walking with Johnny, holding his hand, and I want to have a nice conversation with him. But guess what? He cannot even hear my voice because all of that outside noise is just as loud as my voice. That is what can happen to them. Which brings me to this room. Does it look familiar? Is it this room that we're in right now? It is. It's your cafeteria. Who loves lunch? We all love lunch. Oh my gosh, you guys work hard all morning long in your classrooms. You're listening to your teacher. You're focusing. You're taking tests and quizzes. And finally, you get to come into the lunchroom, talk to your neighbor about what you did yesterday after school, making plans for tomorrow. It's nice and social, and it's stress-free, all while filling up your bellies with great food, right? But what I want you all to know is what a fun-filled place is to you can be totally the opposite for somebody with autism. In fact, this room that we're sitting in right here, when filled up at lunch, can actually be such a stressful environment for them. Now remember all those 5 senses that we were talking about and how that can all come in like a freight train. Let's fill up your cafeteria. Let's look at what you've got. We've got lots of people talking, right? Chitter, chatter, chitter, chatter. Everyone's having a conversation. Lots of noise. What else do we have? Those lunch ladies back there are making you such a great lunch. But they all have smells, right? Plus, you guys are bringing in lunches from home, so now we even have more smells. Everybody's got a different color shirt on, lots of things to look at. Zip, zip, zip of the lunchbox, popping those straws in your juice boxes, wrappers of cookies and granola bars opening up, and all of this can just be completely overwhelming to somebody with autism. And this is what we call sensory overload. Which brings me to a video and our friend Carly. Carly is about 18 years old. She has written a couple of books. She has autism. She's brilliant, but she is nonverbal, okay? What does nonverbal mean? She cannot speak, but she can communicate through her iPad or her computer. Like I said, she's brilliant. What she has done for us is that she has made a video so all of us can experience what it feels to have that sensory overload. Now, I just told you she's nonverbal, which means she can't speak. In this video, it might be a little confusing to you. You'll hear her voice. So what I just want to let you know is that it's her inside voice, her inner voice that you'll be hearing. This is experiencing autism and sensory overload for 2 minutes.
So it didn't have a commercial in it, did it?